From WNYC, this is NYCNow. I'm Janae Pierre. Cherry blossoms, staycations, and new films from new directors. That and more ahead on this edition of the Arts and Culture Check-In. But before we get into that, here's what's happening in our region. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani says most of the city's free seats for 2-year-olds this fall will run for the full working day and extend the whole year. That's unlike the city's existing preschool programs that end by 3 in the afternoon and aren't open in the summer. Mamdani made the announcement in Brownsville. That's one of the 5 school districts where the city will launch the first seats for the 2K program.
Holding down a 9 to 5 and managing pickup and drop-off at a traditional 3 p.m. time can be unmanageable. We see parents who are forced to either miss important work obligations, reduce work hours, or shell out for secondary childcare.
The mayor says a majority of the programs will run 10 hours a day, from 8 in the morning to 6 in the evening. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg is urging Mark Zuckerberg to help stop immigration scams from proliferating on Meta's platforms. The DA's office says scammers on Facebook and WhatsApp are pretending to be attorneys who provide immigration services in exchange for money. In some cases, they use fake profiles with the same names and logos as real organizations. Bragg says he sent a letter to Meta this week, but his office hasn't heard back. Meta did not immediately comment. If you're like me, you're looking forward to some warmer weather after a long and brutal winter. But another seasonal foe is around the corner, unfortunately. That's peak rat season. Caroline Bragdon is a pest control expert with the New York City Department of Health. She says the record-breaking winter temperatures likely quelled rat populations over the last couple months.
The spring is typically a time of high reproduction, and as the weather gets warmer, you may also see more juvenile rats or young rats.
Here are some of the most common ways to repel rats: frequent inspections, pest-proofing doors, and vents, as well as making sure all food and garbage is sealed at all times. We gotta take a quick break, but when we return, WNYC's Matt Schnipper joins me for another edition of the Arts and Culture Check-In. There's a lot to get into as true spring begins to set in. Stay close. Welcome to another edition of our Arts and Culture Check-In. A look at what's been coming across the arts and culture desk here at WNYC and our news site Gothamist. Here to walk us through it is Matthew Schnipper. He's our newsroom's arts and culture editor. Hey, Matt.
Hi, Janae.
What's going on?
Just getting excited to chop it up with you.
Oh, yeah.
Springtime.
Spring bling. Cha-ching. So, Matt, quickly, have you traveled recently or?
I went to Vermont in February. Does that count?
I guess that's recent.
I mean, I did have to get on a plane, so.
How was your TSA experience?
This was pre-nonsense, so it was not terrible.
It seems like this has been going on a long time.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, it was okay. It was cold in Vermont. I would say that was more of the thing.
Recently, people have been going through hell, those who are traveling. You've seen it on social media and the news. The lines for TSA are so unpredictable right now because of staffing shortages from the shutdown. And, of course, if you are trying to take a road trip or go anywhere by car, gas is so high right now. $4, I saw. $4.
You gotta be Bill Gates to take a drive?
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think so.
But
Melinda Gates.
She's doing well, too. But, a good option is a staycation.
I think so. You live in New York City. People spend a lot of money to come here to the place that you just already are.
Yeah.
So
easy.
Why go where they are?
Yeah. So you all had a story on your desk talking about staycations.
Yes. Hannah Frischberg, a reporter on my team who is a lifelong New Yorker, went through and recommended a few places that you can go, alternates to hotspot destinations. such as Las Vegas, Sin City. You may have heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't actually want to go there, but if you do.
I'm not a gambling woman.
No, I'm not a gambling woman either. We do now have a casino in New York City. Mm-hmm. So you can head out to Resorts World Casino, which is not so far from JFK. It's close to the Aqueduct Raceway. You can spend all of your money without having to also buy a plane ticket. No need to go all the way to Nevada.
I will say, though, I have been at the casino for the buffet and to wait for friends. However, I didn't know this about the casino, and I'm not sure if that's a thing here, but you can sit at a slot machine and get free drinks.
Yes, they will give you drinks forever.
That's the coolest part.
That is the coolest part. I mean, you are paying for it somehow.
Somehow, sure.
It's like when you get free shipping. I'm doing air quotes here. It's like you paid for that.
Right. Okay, what else?
I'm revealing myself to be cheap here, I feel like.
We, my friend, we.
Thank you for the solidarity. Okay, so we were thinking, where people want to go? They want to go to Iceland. A lot of people I know have been going to Iceland.
Really?
Yeah, very trendy, sparkling blue lagoons. Mm-hmm. Don't do that. Go to Coney Island.
Ah, that's cheaper.
Yes.
Way cheaper.
Much cheaper. Water is water,
I don't agree with that part, but
yeah, okay, that's fair. But it's fun to go down to Coney Island. I don't know if you spend a lot of time down there, but it's very, it's real, it's bustling. New York City is on an island, You don't have to go to Iceland.
Man, this conversation, I know we are early into it, but I am
riveted.
I am pumped for the real spring to hit, for the summer months. This is great. What else can I plan for my staycation?
There are pyramids in Egypt, which we don't recommend you flying to when you could just go to Kebab Cafe.
Ooh, okay.
In Astoria. Go get some Egyptian food, hang out with Chef Ali Saeed. He is great, funny, sharp, and the food is fantastic.
What should I try there?
Bone marrow. Eat it.
Okay. I don't eat meat.
Okay, well, I wouldn't say you shouldn't go to here, actually. All right. If you're not a vegetarian, go there. If you are a vegetarian,
before you go.
You're allowed to go to Egypt then. That's fine.
Let me one moment while I book my ticket. All right. So, turns out I can't afford to go to Egypt right now.
All right. So you have to start eating meat. Kebab Cafe is in Astoria. Go check that out.
Okay. Well, maybe I can travel with my mind.
Maybe so.
And, the new directors, new films festival is happening right now until April 19th. What's going on?
Yeah, this is a long-running film festival. It's the 55th year. And it is a partnership between the Museum of Modern Art and Film at Lincoln Center. And, it does kind of what it says on the tin. They bring in new filmmakers. Some of the filmmakers that they have shown films from early on in their careers, Christopher Nolan, Spike Lee, Wong Kar-wai. So this year they have got a lot of names who you wouldn't know, just like you wouldn't have known those names 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But there's a whole array of movies happening starting right now.
Okay, want to talk about a couple of the movies?
Yeah, I did get a chance to see one that I was actually pretty excited about. I was curious, maybe skeptical, to see not Charlie XCX's acting debut, but I would say the kind of first kind of big and real role that she's escaped into. This movie is called Erupcja. Forgive my Polish pronunciation. It's a movie made by an American director named Pete Oz, who is actually relocated to Poland. And it's kind of, for those of you who are familiar with the mumblecore movement, it is not so different than that. Essentially, Charlie is a British woman who goes to Poland with her boyfriend. Turns out she's been there a few times before and has a friend that she likes to party with. She does not tell that to her boyfriend. And she sort of escapes into the Polish nightlife while he kind of figures out what the hell is going on with my girl.
Yeah. And, the person playing her boyfriend looks a lot like her husband here.
I watched this with my wife and another of my colleagues watched this, and everybody's had the same question. Is that Charlie XCX's husband? And no, it is another bald man. And I want to say on behalf of all of us, we are not the same.
Yeah, you don't look like him.
No, he's taller. Thank you, Janae. No, I don't look like him.
Okay. So call out to you, dear listener, if you check out the New Directors New Films Festival and you go out to see anything, let us know what you think. Hit us up at NYCNow at WNYC.org. All right. So as I mentioned, Matt, I'm so excited for this true spring to hit us soon and, the summer months. The one thing I'm always super excited about is the cherry blossoms blooming around the city. And we're seeing some right now, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm starting to see some in my neighborhood, which is really fantastic.
It places a smile on your face. You can't help it.
Absolutely. In Central Park, there's cherry blossoms all around. There's Cherry Hill near the Bethesda Terrace. It's like they reliably have got them. I learned about Yoshino cherries, which are kind of arcing over the path. There's the Pilgrim Hill on the Upper East Side, and those are kind of early, so I think those are out right now. And the Central Park Conservancy, they have a tracker that will let you know the best time to go where.
Nice.
Which is an incredible use of technology, in my opinion.
That's what it should be used for.
Cherry blossoms are nothing.
Yeah.
That's it.
But we also need allergy medicine. So,
Yes.
If that's an issue for you like it is for me, do go outside prepared. I'm popping a pill every morning.
Yeah. Are you heading to the Brooklyn Botanic Garden yourself?
Not right now. At some point.
Well, head to Brooklyn Botanic Garden if you want. The Cherry Blossom Festival there is quite lovely, but the trees are beautiful.
Yeah. Any advice as far as beating the crowds?
No. There's none. There are crowds.
Yeah.
I mean, don't go on the weekend, but do you have a job? I don't know.
Call in sick.
Yeah, call in sick. That's a good
what I'm gonna
advice.
do.
Yeah, exactly. No, there are crowds. This is New York City. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right. So I don't mean to fast forward here, but, spring, summer, they're just back to back, right? And I know.
One, it is next to two.
Yeah. But I know you've been keeping up with Mayor Mamdani's cultural references, and someone asked him about drama with a summer house.
Yeah, I had to learn about Summer House, unfortunately. Are you a Summer House fan?
No.
Have you learned about the Summer House drama?
No, but you're about to teach me.
I don't think I can teach you about this. Wes, another guy, dating someone else, whatever. I know someone is listening to this and going, cursing my name for, being, thinking it's not that serious. But I only know Sierra from Traders. That's important television to me.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
I do know that Sierra got played by her friend, who I think is now dating her ex. So I think I do actually know what's going on.
Okay, T.
Anyway, so a street interviewer, Adam Glim, he asked Mamdani for his take.
What's your advice to Sierra? She's basically heartbroken that her ex is with a fellow friend.
And Mamdani, the most Mamdani thing I've ever could imagine, he was like,
That's rough. I guess the first thing I would say to her is thank you for saving people's lives.
he's like, Sierra, she's a nurse. I'd like to say thank you for your service and helping. I was like, which is just amazing. I was like, thank you. And then he asked about the other guy, Wes. I believe that's who he was asking about. And he said,
Brother, I don't know who that is.
brother, I don't know who that is,
Definitely. All right. So another thing that makes me think of summer, the U.S. Open, man.
Yes.
I have to admit, I'm into it because of the honeydews.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's a New York City staple. Have you
Great.
gone?
I have. I went last summer, and speaking of being bald, like I was recently, I got deeply burned, on the top of my head.
No, I'm
Yeah,
so
it
sorry to
sucked.
hear that.
It's fine. That's my takeaway from the U.S. Open.
Okay.
Don't be bald.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I had a great time at the U.S. Open last summer.
Yeah.
It was my first time going, and it was great.
Oh, so I've gone, I want to say every year for the past 4 years.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. You should be.
So we noticed this year, there's a ball crew. That's the ball boys and ball
Yeah.
girls, ball men, ball women, who are you've always seen them. They're always standing like little statues at the back of the court and running, picking up the balls and passing fresh balls to the players.
Very impressive.
An amazing thing. And, I've actually always wondered, how do they get that job? And the answer is they apply for it on the internet, which is apparently a thing you can do. I did not know.
Wow.
So applications are actually currently open. They have about 100 spots because they have a number of people coming back from last year. But you can apply now to be on the court at the U.S. Open.
Okay. Is there a physical as well as, an application? Because the stamina
Yes.
to go back and forth and chase the ball, it's impressive.
It's sort of it's kind of like you're taking the driver's test, where there's the written test and then they put you behind the wheel. So you have to apply. And your application, you need to write a little bit about, what's your personal relationship like with tennis? Why do you want to do this? But then you have to answer some quiz questions.
A test?
There is a test. They're
Count me
they're
out.
pretty basic. Oh, that's so
Count
sad.
me out.
There's some pretty basic questions. Player A is serving and the game score is 30-15. Player A serves a double fault. What is the game score?
Are you asking me? I'm not applying. I'm not applying.
Well, they have a number of questions like that.
I go for the vibes, man.
So go for the vibes.
You know what, Matt? You tried to hit me with a question. Lucky for me, my producer has a couple of the questions here for me, and I'm going to ask
All right.
you.
All right. Let's see.
What is the maximum number of sets that can be played in a men's Grand Slam match?
I want to say 6.
Oh,
it's 5. All right. Well,
all right. How many Grand Slam tournaments are played each year?
it's funny. I'm looking at the options. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5. Mm-hmm. If there were no choices, I would have said like 12.
Oh,
I'm like 12, right? Yeah, it's 12.
it's 4.
It's 4.
It's 4.
4.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll see you at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, totally. Where I'll be buying tickets.
Right. Hey, also, ball girl, ball boy, shout out to everyone who has had that position. They always look so fly.
Oh my
And
God, the Ralph Lauren.
like, amazing.
Yeah. I actually have an eBay alert for Ralph Lauren U.S. Open clothes. Just, hoping they show up, the new ones, but the kind of the older ones, that hasn't hit really.
Okay.
For a couple of years, I've been just waiting. I'm hoping at some point somebody's going to put their 90s gear up, but it hasn't happened.
Yeah. All right. Matt, it's never too late to try some new things in life.
It's true. We were looking, hey, what's going on this weekend? And I saw occasionally the club nowadays in Ridgewood, Queens does 24-hour parties. Now, this is great because you can show up anytime. Name a time.
Yeah.
It will be open.
Yeah.
3:22 a.m. p.m. open. Noon, midnight, open. You want to go? They're there.
So you went.
No, I didn't go to that one. That's this weekend. You can go see Byron the Great play this weekend.
Okay.
Okay, but I was like, other people should go to that. I went recently though. There was a 24-hour party near my house, this kind of roving party called Merge. A couple of months ago, I found out it was happening, and this guy named DJ Nobu was headlining, which meant he started at 8 a.m. And I was like, I am awake at 8 a.m. This is a couple blocks from my house. I'm going to go.
Start your day with DJ Nobu.
So it was Sunday morning, and I went, and I was wearing corduroys. Like, I was just like, I look, and these are everybody else been up all night.
Yeah.
A couple people came in early. Like, I was not the only person who was arriving at that time, but for the several hundred people that were there, I would say there's, 5 or 10. Yes, that was very accurate. And the music was good. DJ Nobu was a techno DJ, and this was a very straight ahead set. It sounded kind of like what you were doing for about 2 hours. And I was very hot. The woman at Kochek was like, you should take your sweatshirt off. It's pretty hot, which I appreciated. But I still was wearing corduroys and my stupid Merrills.
Embrace your dad swag.
Thank you. I was actually embracing myself at this emotionally, at least, because I was stoked. I was out, like I was out. It was 8:30 a.m. And then I went to breakfast for my brother-in-law's 40th birthday.
Nice.
It was great. So I think the more that you can kind of find yourself in a place that you might not always be, I think the better.
All right.
Staycation.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good time. Wow, you set us up with a lot.
Thank you.
I'm excited.
It's a big city,
That's WNYC's arts and culture editor, Matthew Schnipper. Thanks a lot, Matt.
Thanks, Janae. Catch you on the dance floor.
Yep. See you there.
See you there.
Thanks for listening to NYC Now. I'm Janae Pierre. See you next time.